I've struggled with addiction, with alcoholism. You know, growing up as a kid, I lived in a household with addicts and alcoholics, and so, so it started at an early age, I'd say, and progressed through my early teens up until my early adulthood. I really started using heavy drugs to deal and to cope with some of the things that I had been through and seen as a child.
I was an addict for 17 years. I was addicted to many drugs, primarily methamphetamine. So I was a meth addict for 17 years, alcohol, cocaine. It robbed me of my sanity. It robbed me of all my material possessions, and it robbed me of my freedom. And I got arrested, tased by the police, and it was in that jail cell that I fell on my knees and cried out to God, and He made Himself real to me. And so that was the turning point, but it was just the beginning of a long walk out.
Yeah, so addiction has played a very heavy role in my life. I was diagnosed with ADHD and put on medication when I was 6 years old. And from the time that I was 6 years old until I was 20 years old, I took a variety of different pills every single day. And sometimes multiple pills once a day. So my brain got adjusted to having outside stimulation since I was 6 years old. And I was so filled with rage and anger and confusion of not even knowing my own identity outside of these pills that I stopped taking them immediately, and I started withdrawing. So yeah, addiction, addictive tendencies, it runs in my family, it runs in my personality. I'm very high stimulation, very active, fast moving. So, I've been addicted to alcohol, addicted to smoking, just addicted to stimulation from anything that the world can give me to please my flesh, but it always leaves me empty.
When I see the brick of addiction being tossed to be buried, I remember when Austin first came to me and he was smoking every day, and he knew that that was something that wasn't healthy for him, but he was like, I struggle with anxiety, this helps me with my anxiety. And so we had to say, okay, well, we're gonna make a shift towards being dependent on God to help you with your anxiety. And he struggled through it.
It's very encouraging to see him, being authentic and transparent in what he's went through so that he could help reach others. I love how he buried the different emotions and things that he went through. He was letting it all go. And so it really helped me to continue to bury all those things, that anger, that addiction.
There's these weights, these things in life that keep us weighed down that we're carrying along and we're trying to do it in our own strength. And it's just a slow process where we're limping. It hinders us from walking freely, uninhibited. Really, it's those things we have to shed in order for us to walk in the full purpose God has designed us for.
And so Trey Knott and his family and Eyes on Me, the ministry, Austin Lanier, they all really, were there for me to support me, all the way through. So now I've actually got the opportunity to become a recovery coach and to work in the rehab facility that I went to. So God has taken that bad and turning it in for, turning it for the good. He works all things together for the good of those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. And that is something that I definitely can see in my life, begin to see the fruits in my life,
So there's great things that can come from people who have buried that brick of addiction. But it takes help. It takes help from the body of Christ. It takes help from ministries, churches coming together and saying, hey, we're gonna address addiction and do something about it. And we can overcome all things through Christ who gives us strength.
How do I get so high and so low? It's when my mind is so out of control. Oh, you think that you know me? You don't. Blink your eyes and I'm gone like a ghost. Hey, hey.